Oh, hey, didn't see you guys there. Morning. How's everybody doing today? Hope you're off to a great start. Um, on the way to, you guessed it, get some work in, do the range. When I say range, I'm actually going to range, putting green, and they also have a practice facility behind the course that's 3 big putting greens, sand traps, and some pitching areas. So I'm probably gonna go work there today. I can't stand hitting off mats. Just the feel isn't natural. So I'm gonna work on some 20-yard chips, some different shots over a bunker, little things like that. Get some of that work in, and then maybe some more putting today, and then some mobility, flexibility workout today. So yeah, hope everyone has a fabulous Tuesday. Let's go after it. Let's go get it. Let's go chase our dreams. Never give up. But you gotta put the work in. You can't just say I'm gonna do it, sit around and do nothing. You gotta actually put the work in. And maybe an evening session tonight too. Post work, we'll see. But hope you guys have an awesome day. But so yeah, Sam Sulek, bodybuilder, YouTube sensation guy, super cool dude. He does this a lot. Just kind of talks to everyone through while he's driving to the gym or wherever he's going. Most of the time it's the gym or it's the grocery store. So I figured, be a good time to get to know me and what makes my brain tick and kind of my thoughts for the day. And because after all, that's the point of social media, regurgitating our entire lives for everyone to see. So anyway, but like I said on my previous video, I'm going to the range. Did not feel like it. I am literally sore everywhere right now. Slept wrong on my neck or side did something. Anyway, it did a lot of stretching yesterday and today, but it feels a lot better now. The main thing I've been focusing on, every when I wake up and stuff, I always, you have that self-doubt that creeps in of, what are you doing? Why are you doing this? You're 41, you can't. It's all those voices that are coming in that people have been telling you your whole life. Don't do this, take the safe route. You got this, you got a family, da 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 da. But it's like, you know what? You got to block that out. You gotta, not the family, but the negativity. You got to block all that out. You got to go in and what happened? I guess shut off. I got to get better equipment in here. Anyway. You gotta stop listening to all the negativity. You gotta go in and just do what your gut, what your heart, what your soul is telling you to do. If there's something in there that's pulling you and that you can't explain, it's something that too many things are lining up and adding up from your past and to present, and just little things that have happened in the future. In the past that are just you can't ignore. So, people will be like, "Oh, you're crazy to do it. Oh, this is nuts. Oh, you don't have enough time." But you know what? It doesn't really matter to me because they're not the ones doing it. They're not the ones putting in the work, and 99% of those people aren't brave enough to go out and try something. They like the comfortableness. They like the risk of not failing, but that's why they'll never achieve greatness, and there'll probably never be anything written about them. They'll just fade off into the sunset. I've always felt since I was a kid, just from growing up, that I was meant for something bigger. It's always been something that's pulling at me. The things I've gone throughout my life to now, I have a really cool and story to tell that I know will help others. And this is part of my journey of where I want to show them that anything's possible. You just got to put the work in. You just got to set your mind to it. You got to put the work in and just do that. And of course, this one car right now is going to try to cut me off. It's where people turn idiotic when they try to drive. But you gotta block it out. I don't listen to them. I know what I'm capable of. I know I'm not there yet. and I know I can get there. I've done other things that people doubted me on, and were like, "Oh, you can't do this," or "That's impossible," or da 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 da. And I've proved them wrong. So it's all about up here. It's not about in here. It's not about what people see. It's not about what people see through, social media and stuff like that. They're always going to doubt you because honestly, they want to see you fail, because if you fail, it means that they feel better about themselves for not even trying. So with that being said, I'm now here at the course. I'm about to go put the work in, because like I said, if I'm getting that much better with the time that I have and I'm blessed with, I just know that hard work and consistency will always win out against talent. Talent gets you so far, but if you don't put in the work, if you don't put in the effort, especially in this game, you're not going to make it far. Thank you guys. Thanks for sticking around. Hope everyone has an awesome day. I'll try to get some video of what I'm doing. I don't know if you guys care to see that, just to practice, but I'm going to start getting some rounds in now that it's summertime. We just had some crazy storms, so this course is soaking wet, so I might not even be able to get anything done today, minus some putting, but we'll get it. We'll see what we can do. So we got 2 bunkers right here, pin up in the front, tucked in. Not a whole lot of green to work with, probably I'd say 10 feet sloping down. So I gotta land somewhere in this area and let it trickle down, or just try to check it up. Ground's super wet. It poured yesterday. Got my 60 degree here. With here in Oklahoma, we use very little bounce because the turf is like concrete, so you don't need a whole lot of bounce to get up there. You want to slide into where that you're hitting flat. You want that leading edge get into the ground. So I'm going to try a few shots, see if I need to get my Callaway trainer here and the thing, but that's what we're working on today. Tell you what, too, if you haven't tried Jumbo Max, go try them. They're the best. My wedge game has gotten so much better since adding these on. What is up? Just got done heading home. Very productive. Hit about 300 shots. And again, these are just little pitch shots. It was like I said in the video before. I can't talk to you. My goodness, I'm so tired. Right behind a bunker, front pin just right off of that. Not a lot of green to work with, probably 10 to 12 feet. Sloping down from what I was looking at from left to right down to the front. Tough chip shot. So I started the first 60 or so with the 60 degree. Didn't like how the bounce was going. I was hitting leading edge too much. And on that club, I have a low bounce on it just because in Oklahoma the turf is so rock solid just because of the heat. So you need something that's not a whole lot of bounce, because if you have a whole lot of bounce on it, that leading edge is going to be so high up off the ground. You're going to be fighting the club instead of the turf. So I had some decent shots, scared the hole a couple times. Just didn't like the way it was feeling. I feel like I was having to pull it up. Went to the 56. Felt a little better, but kind of the same thing. That one, my 56 has a little bit more bounce on it. It's a 10 degree bounce, or a 10 bounce, not a 10 degree. But then I went to I didn't think about this, but I went to my 50 degree, and it just just did a small backswing and just let the club lift the ball, with obviously less loft, and it just was like butter. Now I wasn't getting as much spin as I wanted, but if I landed it correctly, it was rolling out to the hole and just a little past, which on something like that, on a shot like that, you're either trying to hole it out or get it within 5 feet or 3 feet, because like I said, there's not a whole lot of green to work with. So use my 50 degree for about 100 shots and like the results. I'll post a few of them that, I'm not going to bore you with an hour of just chipping stuff. There's already so many of that on YouTube and everything like that. But again, it's just me vlogging, trying to keep progress. I want to look back when I play my first professional tournament and be like, wow, look at all this hard work. I really, just to kind of keep myself accountable and show people, hey, you know what, I put in the work. I didn't have state-of-the-art facilities, coaches, or anything like that. I do have coaches, but I don't have access to go to a coach whenever I want. I don't have access to go to a course whenever I want. I work 2 jobs. My full-time job, where it does require some travel, it's very high level, and then I have a secondary job, which I do a few days a week, where I'm a certified fitter for golf, and I love that. But I don't get to go practice there as much as I'd like to, just because we're busy. And so I got to find the time, bits and pieces where I can, even when I'm working out, late at night or early in the morning. I do mobility, strength training, and stuff like that, just to get my swing and my speed back down. I used to be all about getting cut up, losing weight and everything like that. But more for me, it's more for longevity, for range of motion. Obviously, I want strength. I'm not going to try to bench press a house, but I'd like to be able to, bench press my body weight, no problem, which I pretty much can. And be able to just lift solid to where I can get a good club head speed and ball speed, and get the ball accurately down the fairway and onto the green. So like I said, it's a lot of tailoring stuff, because for me, this trying to go professional is a dream. It's not something that I can dedicate all day every day to. I do dedicate every day to it, just bits and pieces where I can. And so these little things are there to kind of share that journey. If you don't like it, I apologize. I'm not trying to offend anyone. I'm not trying to annoy anyone. I'm trying to learn this social media thing. So it's one of those things where, I was told, in order to get traction, you got to post every day. The main reason why I'm posting every day is, number one, for accountability for me, show anyone who cares about my journey. And 3, when you got guys, not to throw any rocks anywhere, but you got guys like Bob Does Sports and Bad Boys and St. Andy, all these other funny YouTube channels and Instagram channels, and they're just making funny content, and they're getting sponsored. If I got sponsored, that would be a whole game changer. It free up a lot of time, free up money for equipment, for tournaments to go play in. Tournaments aren't cheap. They're anywhere from $300 to $500, and sometimes, if you're going to a sanctioned one, upwards of $1,500 and $2,500. We don't just have that laying around. It's one of those things where if I could have a sponsor's exemption or a sponsor, it'd be really great to get that competition experience there. But we're working on that. That's why I'm posting. I'm trying to get my following up. So, Mizuno and Cobra, because all I wear is Cobra. Not Cobra, Puma clothing. That would be my dream partnership, is to be partnered with Mizuno and Puma. One of the things I have been doing is reaching out to a lot of AI tech companies, since I am in the tech field, and pitching them an idea of, hey, you know what? You guys are already in the golf space, or partially in the golf space. Would you like to take a protege like myself and help me on my journey, and also use the data and analytics to look at biomechanics, to look at swing data, to look at everything, because we use data for everything, and help me better myself to where you can say, hey, based on our systems, we were able to turn Sean from an amateur golfer to a professional golfer based on all these programs and stuff that we developed, and we did. It'd be boxed up, it'd be good for coaches and different athletes and stuff like that. So working that angle. Don't know if I'm going to post that because it's my idea, Don't want anybody else stealing it. But there's some opportunity there. In this day and age, you got opportunity everywhere. You just got to strike the right spots, and when it's hot, and that's all I'm trying to do is just wait for my time and keep doing the work until it happens. Like I said, it's one of those things where you can't fake the hard work. You can fake the attitude and the swag and the confidence, but you can't fake the hard work and the consistency and the dedication you put into it. And so that's where I try to one up other people, where I know where my game's at. I don't talk a big game. I try to play to my ability. I play to my abilities, and I know what's my strengths and my weaknesses. But at the same time, you're not going to go see me chirping people about this, and this, like all the keyboard warriors do. I don't do that, because I try to stay in my own lane and let my game prove it when it needs to be proven. So that being said, thank you guys. Thank you for listening to me ramble on for 5 minutes here, 7 minutes here. Hope you have a blessed Tuesday. And always remember, you can do anything through Christ. You can do anything that you set your mind to. Again, your mind is what creates your reality. So if your reality is that you'll never be able to do something because of X, Y, and Z, you're never going to do it. Okay? Just got to set your mind to it, and don't let any distractions, don't let anybody tell you can't do it, and then put in the work to do it. That's where it's not going to happen. It's not going to magically just appear in your lap. You got to put in the work. You got to put in the time and the effort. And if you do, the universe will reward you. Stay blessed. Love you guys, and hope everyone has an amazing week, and hope everyone's safe from those storms. We got some nasty storms the last few days. But yeah, love you guys. And by the way, in the next week or so, once some internal things have been finalized, we got a very big announcement for the people that do not know. So stay tuned. Peace out.